Hello, my gorgeous AI aficionados. Don't worry, I heard. Leadership has asked you to show tangible ROI in your latest AI investments and why you haven't deployed AI agents all over the road. Don't worry, we've got this. So grab a pen and paper and/or your favorite note taker, and you and I are going to spend the next few minutes talking about making money with AI and streamlining operations with agents. Because right now, as your fractional chief AI officer, I'm going to be very candid, because just like you, I'm seeing something very dangerous. So now you've got this trend where people with just enough technological capability to be dangerous are being told that they can make thousands of dollars a week in passive income by building AI agents for businesses, helping them optimize their workflows and operations. Well-intentioned? Often. Commercially tempting? Absolutely. But let me offer a more nuanced view from direct experience. Just because humans are not directly touching the data once a system is live does not mean that the exposure has disappeared. And it certainly does not mean that the risk or the accountability that goes with it has too. So, what are we seeing? We're seeing that what's being offered to organizations right now is often not an efficient solution to a business problem at all, but elevated exposure dressed up as innovation. So when people ask, how do we make money from AI or how do we save money with AI? I think the real question is much more basic. What are you actually investing in? Because if what you're buying is another clever little tool, another agent, another workflow layer, another thing that sounds efficient on paper, but nobody in the organization can properly govern it, then maybe you're not buying value at all. Because agents do more than generate text. They access tools, move data, trigger workflows, and act across systems, which means that the question is no longer, can the model get something wrong? It's also, what can this thing touch? What can it do? And who approved the boundaries? Security guidance for AI agents now center on least privilege, explicit approval for sensitive actions, and the reality that malicious instructions can be hidden inside the very email documents and web pages an agent is asked to process. Think on this. Someone with clever marketing sells you an agent that manages your diary. It connects to multiple systems. You asked it to do something and let it run. Everyone feels futuristic for about 5 minutes. But if that agent has broad permissions, no meaningful human confirmation step, and it's pulling context from untrusted emails, documents, or web pages, then that one bad instruction becomes real-world action. This is how you end up with the wrong message sent, the wrong record exposed, the wrong system triggered, and/or the wrong data moved, all at machine speed. And now, my friends, you no longer just have a compliance problem, you have a trust problem. And if you're very unfortunate, potentially a legal one. Governance failure has entered the building dressed up as innovation. And sadly, this is not some futuristic horror story. It's happening right now. At Meta, an internal AI agent reportedly posted flawed guidance into an internal forum without approval, contributing to a major security incident that exposed sensitive data to employees not authorized to see it. Now, no customer data was said to have been mishandled, but the lesson is the same. A system does not need to be sentient, rogue, or malicious to create a serious breach. It just needs access, autonomy, and weak safeguards. And then there is Maltbook, where Wiz researchers found a misconfigured database that exposed around, get this, 1.5 million API authentication tokens, 35,000 email addresses, and private AI agent messages. This is what happens when capability outruns control. Now note something critical. Both of those examples involve AI-first organizations stumbling over systems they've built themselves. So let's consider how sure you are of your third-party solution. According to the 2026 Gravity State of AI Agent Security Report, 80.9% of technical teams have moved past planning into active testing or full production and deployment of AI agents. Only 14.4% of those agents went live with full security and IT approval. More than half of all those deployed agents run without consistent security, oversight, or logging. So no, sadly, this is not just a futuristic conversation about buying clever, faster products quicker than the next company. It's about whether what you buy actually strengthens your business or simply gives risk a more modern outfit. Because if all of these passive income fantasies and promises of hyper-efficient agentic AI processes were as easy as the internet keeps pretending they are, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation. Now, you need clarity before you buy. Align functions and stakeholders before you automate, and stop moving data before you know who owns the risk. So, let's do something useful. Remember your pen and paper? Let's take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. So, take that piece of paper and split it into 4 columns. Now remember, perfection is not what we need here. We only need presence. Column 1, write this down. What are we actually trying to achieve? We're not talking about the AI answer here or the vendor one. We're coming back to the business problem. So, what is the outcome you actually want? More revenue, lower cost, better service, faster decision making, less friction in operations. Write the real thing down. Now, column 2. What is the actual business friction here that is slowing things down? What is wasting time? What is costing money? What is creating drag or confusion, delay or inconsistency? We're looking at the friction point here. Because if you cannot name the problem properly, then you are nowhere near ready to buying the solution. Column 3, here we are in the thick of it. Where would AI genuinely improve the outcome? Now, we're not talking theory here, and not because someone on LinkedIn told you that AI could solve all your problems, and certainly not because a consultant with a shiny deck promised transformation. We're asking, where would AI genuinely improve a result in the way that it matters? Would it improve decision quality? Would it improve service? Would it save time in a way that your organization can actually support? Would it strengthen operations without creating fresh chaos somewhere else? And finally, column 4. What new risk or liability does the solution create? And this one matters, because if something goes wrong, there are 4 questions you need to consider. 1, do you know who is actually liable? Financially, legally, reputationally. 2, do you know who owns the decision? 3, who approved the workflow? Who understands the risk? And 4, who is holding the risk if that helpful system becomes a very expensive lesson? That is the exercise. If you cannot answer those 4 questions, then clearly you are not making a real investment decision. You are reacting to pressure. Businesses thrive because they've invested in the right capability, in the right place, with enough judgment and enough governance that the value was real and the downside was understood. And that is why I built the executive briefing. If you want to go further, apply to join the CAIO Executive Masterclass, From AI Pressure to Commercial Value. It's a live executive session. You'll leave with a practical governance action map you can take straight back to your leadership team, designed to give you clarity, strengthen decision-making, and connect AI activity to commercial return. We'll work through how to strengthen governance, reduce unnecessary risk, and stop AI from becoming an expensive source of drift, noise, and stalled proofs of concept. The link is attached, or head to the website. In our time together, I'll bring my background as a scientist, an AI systems architect, and a business leader who has supported multi-million-dollar AI portfolios and learned some hard truths along the way. I'll deliver with honesty, care, and almost zero filter. Remember, I'm here as your fractional chief AI officer. I've never done feel-good coaching. I'm not offering generic consulting. What I am offering is evidence-based clarity, commercial realism, and the tools you need to lead well in an AI-shaped world. And I've said it 1,000 times over the last few years. The ones who succeed with longevity in AI are not the ones who do it first. They are the ones who do it right. I'll see you there.